Hi there, my name's Jackie Decker, and this video is about adapting the open problems we use in our classroom to make them effective in an online learning environment, whether you have students in kindergarten or grade 12 or somewhere in between. Just like in our classroom, the first thing we want to do is choose an open problem that's good for our students where they are in their learning right now. So you might want to think about a topic you're hoping your students will explore or consolidate or practice further. And you might choose an open problem from sources you already have. Marion Small is really great at the open problem, and there are lots of places where we go online to find open problems. I'm going to send you to three particular websites that have three particular types of open problems. The first one is called wouldyourrathermath.com, and it has problems where students are asked to make a decision. There are two options, and they have to choose one, and they have to justify that decision with math. An example might look like this. A student might have 364 jelly beans and have to give away 188, or they choose to start with 281 jelly beans and give away 137 of those to their friends. An example in a different grade, in a different topic, might look like this. Would you rather have Cheez-Its to cover the rectangle on the left or the rectangle on the right? And when you give these problems to your students, you ask them to justify their choice with math. Another type of open problem is called open middle. You've heard about low floor, high ceiling tasks. Open middle is another way that we talk about those. And openmiddle.com has problems, again, spanning from kinder to high school that focus on different topics. In these problems, we've got a problem, looks like a standard problem in many ways, except that students are given in the top the choice of all the operation symbols, but students are asked to use the digits 1 through 9 only one time each to make all of those statements true. And there are a number of different topics covered on the Open Middle website that look a lot like this, but cover many different topics. A third type of open problem, which one doesn't belong, is a Canadian website. So it's wodb.ca, not .com. And it's a bit of a misnomer because what you actually want to do is you want to present 4 options to your students. Might look like this. And you might ask them which one doesn't belong and ask them to justify their thinking. But you might also ask them, why doesn't each one belong with the others? Or what is different or unique about each one of these shapes in this case? Patterns in this case, and equations in this case. Again, there are many different options from different topics and different grade levels. Once you have chosen a problem for your students, you can ask them to choose. They might choose to work on it on their own. They might choose to use some technology like Skype or FaceTime to work on this problem with a friend. When I practiced this at home, I asked my daughter to work with a friend over FaceTime, and their conversations were rich and engaging, and they really dug into the math for a long time. After you've given them lots of time to work on that problem, you might want to ask them to send you a video or a photo of what their thinking was. So when we tried this in my house, my daughter and her partner did this would you rather. I asked them to try it, and this is the solution that they came up with. And I actually had to ask them a question about this. I said, I notice that you've done some calculations here. Can you tell me what it is? And they said, well, it was area. I said, so why did you choose the Cheez-It rectangle with a smaller area? And they said, yeah, well, we don't like those very much. A lot of interesting thinking comes out there. This is the open middle problem that I gave them, and the picture that they shared with me of their thinking was quite simple, but it was the discussion and the thinking that went into that solution that was very rich and involved a lot of conversation about order of operations. And finally, there were a group of 3 of them on FaceTime together that tried this problem, and as I noticed them doing their thinking and talking to each other, I did give them some feedback partway through. They had given that in pattern 1, it goes up by 3. And I said, oh, I noticed that you've quantified this. Can you add some math thinking to the other 3? And I just walked away. And so online, you could give your students some feedback and send them back to the problem. Finally, the last step, which might be a next step for you, and it might not happen the first time you give an open problem, but you might even make a short video of your own to send back to your students to consolidate their student thinking, and you might use some student work in that video. I'll do another video about what that might look like. So good luck with this, and please feel free to email me if you have any questions.